all of those systems are housed within one person and completely functional within one person. But reproduction is going to require two individuals, male and female, in order to get the reproductive system to its full capability. So, what is the purpose of your reproductive system?
To reproduce.
Yeah, to reproduce, to have offspring, right? To keep your species going. And so in order for the reproductive system to be successful, again, we need to look at both male and female. All right, so okay, so one of our big questions of today is, yes, we need to reproductive system to produce offspring. So our first question is going to be, what determines if the baby is going to be a boy or a girl? Right? How do we know that? So that's a matter of sex determination. Then we're going to figure out, how do male and female mature reproductive cycles help produce the future baby? Right? So that's where we're going to have to discuss male and female and see how they work together. So we'll do a little anatomy review and look at the physiology. And then finally, we'll get to this tomorrow. So then let's say the female does get pregnant. So in the female, how do you go from conception all the way through birth? So that's going to consist of 3 phases: fertilization, pregnancy, parturition, which is the act of giving birth, and then we'll talk a little bit about after birth, lactation. All right, so let's first of all kind of do a little review to help us understand how a baby becomes a boy or a girl. All right, so you guys might remember the term gametes. Gametes just simply refers to the sperm from the male and the ova from the female. Ova is the name for a mature egg. So if you hear the word ova, just think, okay, that's my egg. One of the unique things about gametes is that you'll notice they only have half the number of chromosomes, so only 23. If you look at any other cell in your body, like a neuron or a heart cell or a liver cell, how many chromosomes do you find in those cells? How many?
46.
If 23 is half, how many should you get? 46. Right? So if you were to pick any cell out of your body, minus your sperm and egg, you'll always find 46 chromosomes in the nucleus of those cells. But sperm and egg are unique in that they only have half. They only have 23. And here's why. If you want to create a baby, your sperm and egg have to fuse together, or they have to come together. And when they come together, it's called a zygote. So what we say is that the sperm fertilizes the egg, or in other words, the sperm enters the egg. So here you have your egg, which has 23 chromosomes. Here you have your sperm, which also has 23 chromosomes. So if my sperm fuses with my egg, I get my zygote. How many chromosomes does my zygote have?
46.
46, which is the right number, right? We said every cell in your body should have 46 chromosomes. So notice it's important to have half the chromosomes of sperm and egg, so that way when they come together, you get the right amount, which is 46. And so the zygote is the first single cell of the new baby. So we all started off as a zygote, one single cell. And again, that cell has 46 chromosomes, half which came from your dad and half which came from your mom. Right? And that's why they say, oh, you have genes for both mom and dad. All right. So now that you know that a normal cell in your body has 46 chromosomes, half came from mom, half came from dad, we can talk about the term homologous pairs. Homologous pairs are matched chromosomes. So yes, you have 46 chromosomes, but you can really group them into 23 pairs of chromosomes. And here's why. If you look at, for instance, pair number 1, notice they're about the same length. So chromosome pair number 1 are basically identical, except for one came from your mom and one came from your dad. Same thing when you move to chromosome number 2. You have 2 number 2s, one came from mom, one came from dad. For instance, number 18, you have 2 chromosome number 18s, one came from mom, one came from dad. Right? So again, we talk about them in homologous pairs, 23 homologous pairs, one from mom, one from dad. Of those 23 pairs, 22 we call autosomal. All autosomal means is that it does not determine your sex. It doesn't play any role in whether you're a male or female. The 23rd pair of chromosomes is what we call your sex chromosomes. And these are essential in determining whether you're male or female. So for example, if you are XX, so your sex chromosomes are both X chromosomes, what are you?
Female.
You're female. And if you have one X and one Y sex chromosome, then what are you? Male. Yeah. So again, that's your special sex chromosome. You have one pair, and that just determines whether you're male or female. Of course, there's variations of this, which we won't go into, but this is your standard. All right. Questions on that? All right. So now that we understand, okay, yes, if I'm male, I'm XY. If I'm female, I'm XX. Let's determine how you get those sex chromosomes. Remember, you get one from your mom and one from your dad. So I'm going to give you some information. The female we know is XX. So when the female makes her egg, remember the egg only gets one chromosome. But because the female is XX, notice whatever egg she makes will always have an X chromosome in it. Right? That's the only option she has to give her egg. But what's the male again? XY. So when the male makes his sperm, remember he can only put one of the chromosomes in there. So a male has the option of making a sperm that has an X chromosome in it, or the male can make a sperm that has a Y chromosome in it. Right? So if you go down to the picture, notice the woman's egg, the ova, always has an X, but the male sperm has the option of being a Y, or it has the option of having the X. So what I want you guys to do is take a few minutes and discuss this question. Why does the male sperm determine the sex of the baby? So discuss it with your classmates. You can use the figure to help you out. So you're trying to figure out, why is it always the male that determines the sex of the baby?